So I think thanks to India Sponsorship Summit to have me here. I think these are interesting times for us. There are new words which are getting added to our vocabulary. There are words like COVID-19. There are words like the new normal, a global pandemic. But I think one of the most important slivers that we have used in trying to make MaxLive thrive in these times and in fact stay close to the customer is to be able to have a very different view to this pandemic. So versus calling it global pandemic, we try and call it the personal pandemic for a simple reason that there have been various global pieces which have come in and touched us indirectly. There are news items like the global warming. There are news items like the global climate change, etc. However, COVID-19 is one such pandemic which is global in nature, yet it is very personal because it's entered our homes. So the first piece in trying to be able to have MaxLive address the current situation is to be able to have this view of the pandemic as a personal pandemic. Secondly, MaxLive insurance and or any life insurance is very personal to an individual, and that's how MaxLive over the last 18 to 24 odd months has built its core proposition of you are the difference. So when we say as MaxLive, you are the difference, we are going out and celebrating the individual, celebrating the breadwinner. And when you try and put this context of a personal pandemic and the celebratory nature of this individual on whom the responsibility of the family, responsibility of the family's financial security is there, I think MaxLive has gone out and done activities, engagements which have allowed us to stay close to the customer. We have gone out and reiterated the faith that the customers can have in the brand on the back of one of the most important levers for a life insurance brand or a business, which is called claim-paid ratio. And we have taken a very unique view on it under the platform called Bharose Ka Number. So to be able to go and reinforce trust in our customers, to be able to go back and tell them that we are not only close to you in our communication, but we are close to you when it comes to a moment of truth, which is reflected in a claim-paid ratio. We have gone out and used that as a platform to activate in this quarter one. Overall, the philosophy has been about being obsessed with our customers and trying to stay close to them through every possible engagement touch point that we have, and to be able to go back and reassure the customer that it's your safety and it's your safety with the optimum levels of service that we can provide is what MaxLive is going to offer you. The second part of your question about marketing spends, I think there is enough commentary that's floating around that there are few categories which are going to be on an upswing as this pandemic unfolds and as we come out of the pandemic. Life insurance is going to be one such category which in the medium term to long term would definitely become more of an essential service, as today it's being looked upon as a discretionary spends by few. And that's where marketing spends are always going to be in sync with what the market demand is. And in the recent times, in the last 45 to 60 days, we have seen a huge amount of tailwinds which are there to the term insurance business, because consumers are coming out and seeking a change in behavior where they are wanting to pick up life insurance, term insurance, or insurance with critical illness riders. So our marketing spends are absolutely in sync with what the customers are wanting. For us to be able to stay close to the customer is what our spends philosophy has always been. So overall, I think it's a personal pandemic which has given tailwinds to the category and in turn to Max Life as a brand. The brand is looking good. The brand on various matrices is performing well. And our spends have traditionally and will always be in line with what our vision is for the customers. So sponsorship for brands can be looked upon in various slivers. Sponsorship for a brand could be about instant imagery. Sponsorship for a brand could be about a long-term association, or sponsorship for a brand could be about being able to tap into something that's cultural or contextual. Max Life Insurance as a brand has always looked at sponsorships from the point of view of either long-term associations or from the point of view of being able to tap into the customer sentiment or using an existing context. We have never looked upon sponsorships purely from the point of view of instant awareness or instant recall for the brand, purely because life insurance as a product category has a very nice balance between consumer pull and push. So which is why historically life insurance has always looked upon associations or sponsorships with this particular perspective. Pre-COVID or post-COVID, there has not been a shift in the marketing strategy per se. However, there has only been further acceleration to the marketing strategy of saying that customer was always the king, but how can you take this particular aspect of customer centricity to customer obsession? So if to be able to stay close to the customer and to be able to go back and deliver to our promise to the customer, we need to have sponsorships. Sponsorships are going to be here to stay. It's never going to be a question of sponsorships to be carrying a sponsorship pre-COVID and a sponsorship post-COVID era. I think sponsorships are going to be as strategic for a brand as the brand wants it to be. Is there a shift in our strategy for considering or finalizing a particular sponsorship-led initiatives? The answer to that again lies back in one word, which is the customer. If the sponsorship is about trying to get customer congruation or is about telling customers to come together to be able to live through an experience, we are a responsible brand, we are a progressive brand. We don't want to propagate a habit which in today's environment could not be safe or would not be something that would take away the responsibility tag from Max Life Insurance. So the only change that we have had in the recent times or we will have going forward in the next 3 to 6 months is going to be able to look at sponsorships from the perspective of saying, are these sponsorships going to make consumers come in together physically, or are these sponsorships going to still deliver the message and the engagement by keeping the customers at arm's distance for their own safety? So if the sponsorship were to have an impact where physical distance is immaterial and the physical distance of the brand, the sponsorship of that particular property in question and the consumer per se can be still delivered through a digital medium, I think sponsorships would never have a different point of view. And that's the big point that we have when you try and stitch back what a sponsorship can do for a brand today or what a sponsorship for a brand can do in the long term. I think the question is interesting because it's already calling out a post-COVID world while we are still in the middle of this pandemic. So that's why the question is interesting. The other reason why the question is interesting is because it has an interesting dichotomy in 2 words called virtual events. I think events was all about physicality of consumers coming together, of brands trying to activate the consumer congruation points, but now there is a virtualness to it. And the third reason why I say it's interesting is because sponsorships are also being made far more responsible from the point of view of effectiveness, from the point of view of ROI that a brand can drive from that investment. Do we as Max Life Insurance look at virtual events as one such opportunity? The answer to that is yes. And I say that because today the customer who's confined to the boundaries of his or her safe home is using digital media to be able to not only interact in his or her own circles, but to be able to consume a lot of content. What the current situation has lived up to is increasing uncertainty and increasing anxieties. And to be able to be participating in trying to curb these anxieties or uncertainties, to be able to deliver content in a responsible and a responsive way by having either subject matter experts or going back and leveraging an existing contextual or a cultural topic which may be being delivered through a virtual event. I think any brand, whether a product brand or a service brand, would want to tap into. So digital engagement with customers, whether delivered through a social platform or through a virtual event, is going to be here to stay. And I think, again, what's going to be important is that virtual events were always existing in our lives. But I think it was only a matter of inflection point or acceleration. And I think whether you call it the post-COVID world or whether you call it changing world because of COVID, I think the acceleration that virtual events will see is something that's going to make it as a viable option for brands to invest behind. One of the most important things that we'll need to remember is going to be that engagement and events had a very different way of measuring their impact. I think virtual events would have to garner that much amount of hard work, and partner ecosystems would have to work with brands to be able to bring that effectiveness on the table. Because the fact that it will be able to deliver reach, the answer is yes. The fact that it's going to be able to leverage technology to deliver reach, the answer is yes. The question is going to be about what are you leaving behind as the message, and how are we ensuring that when the customer or the viewer is engaging with the event through virtual means, he or she has been able to have a distraction-free time or engagement with that event. I think because if I was to draw a parallel example, a brand activating itself against the mega event called IPL, when the customer was locked inside a stadium for 4 hours to see a particular match, you had nothing but either the match or you had various brands around that individual to be able to engage him. However, today, the person sitting at home is looking at the screen or going through the experience of that webinar or that event with having multiple distractions around him or her. Hence, the crispness of the message and to be able to prove effectiveness is going to be a responsibility for the entire partner ecosystem, from events to brands to the viewers who are coming in. Because it's going to be a very easy come in and drop out if you don't find the right traction for these virtual events. But these events and such opportunities are here to stay. In fact, they're only going to find far and far more acceleration in the times to come ahead. I think a great question with only one word that I would definitely want to drop from this question and replace. I have a personal aversion to this word called agencies, because the minute you call them agencies, you're suddenly externalizing them as just another polished word for vendors. I think brands in today's era, they require a partner ecosystem. They require a partner ecosystem with whom they can not only execute an idea, they can co-create an idea, they can co-ideate an idea. So I think first, my request to all of us is going to be, whether on the marketing fraternity side or on the partner ecosystem side, that it's one extended team that I believe in as a principle, and that's how I have lived with all my partner ecosystem partners as I have them on board. The one single advice that I would like to give to the larger partner ecosystem, which has again subject matter experts, whether from the media side, from the content side, from the creative side, is going to be able to find the right confluence of what the customer or the consumer wants to do and what is the brand objective in the short term to medium term to long term. I think the entire space of being able to pitch a tactical sponsorship or a tactical association or a tactical idea to a brand, I think those will cease to exist, because brand managers and marketing managers are going to become a lot more conscious of saying that if I can't sustain association of a certain type and I'm doing it for instant returns, I think that shift is going to be something that even the partner ecosystems would have to get used to. Because sometimes the partner ecosystems would come in with a very tactical idea for a here and now activation for the brand. I think because of this entire tagging that we are doing to pre-COVID to post-COVID worlds that we're going to live in, and the post-COVID world is where it's going to be a longish runway of time versus being to say that COVID will cease to exist after a certain date. I think medium term to long termness of an association, keeping the brand and the consumer in mind, is what the partner ecosystems would have to get used to pitching. I think that's my philosophy. That's exactly what Max Life Insurance believes in. And that's exactly how we are trying to put out our marketing agenda. So Max Life Insurance, like I said, Max Life Insurance in the last 18 to 24 months has been building its core proposition around this platform called You Are the Difference, where what we are trying to communicate to the consumer world is about the fact that over time, life insurance has always been one burden that an individual had to carry, the breadwinner had to carry on himself or herself, with a view to say, in the case of an unforeseeable situation, what am I going to leave behind for my family? However, what Max Life has done with its platform of You Are the Difference is to be able to say that it's you who can make the difference to your family by not being fearful or negative, but by having the right kind of financial protection. So we're just trying to look at the inverse of the narrative which had existed in the life insurance category for a long period of time. And in trying to be able to celebrate the breadwinner or the you in You Are the Difference, we have looked at 2 or 3 key buckets. We have looked at the space of mindful living, where you've got physical wellness, mental wellness as an interesting space to tap into. We had looked at financial wellness, about being able to look at the right kind of financial protection, the right kind of financial products to be able to cover for your family's risk. And the third bucket is about the kind of engagement that we are driving through these 2 buckets. Now, what we have done under this mindful living or physical wellness to begin with, as the most logical conversation that's happening around us, which is about fitness and wellness, Max Life has looked at physical wellness imagery to be able to associate with 2 or 3 platforms. One of the platforms that we have associated in the past is activating around IPL as the larger platform, and we have gone ahead and done some association and partnerships with one of the key teams. We were one of the proud life insurance partners for the Royal Challengers Bangalore, where the idea was to be able to again communicate the importance of life insurance and the importance of having the right life insurance by taking the surrogate example of sports, that just like you go out into the cricket field with your right protection gear, and you would always want to be carrying the right protection gear versus carrying any protection gear, likewise you should have the right life insurance protection with you. So that was one of the associations we did with that platform. The other one that we have done is a little more of a local associations, where again in the space of physical wellness, we have gone out and set up this platform of delivering India's first community runs. So there are plethora of runs that happens in this country, which is about the fanatics, which is about the consumers who want to clock a certain time. But because of the You Are the Difference frame for your family that Max Life believes in, we have gone out and set up these community runs, and we have looked at markets like Gurgaon, Ahmedabad and Bangalore as our first go-to markets, where we set up these community runs in the calendar year, again to be able to not only invite the fanatics to come and run under the Max Life proposition, but calling in the family, calling in the fence sitters, because it's about being fit. It's about being fit and being protected, and about being happy in turn for your family, because it's for them you are the difference. So again, out of music, sports, fashion, etc., and all the options available, we have looked at the broader territory of sports, but we have picked up a very proprietary way of being able to associate with the certain platforms that we have put out, either whether it was the sponsorship with the Royal Challengers Bangalore, the IPL team, or setting up our family community runs in these key markets that I spoke about.